Hello everybody, it's TB. Good Sunday morning to everybody. I'm not going to do a whole lot of work or nothing like that today. I just wanted to show you how you can take a fiberglass rod, cut it in two to make arrows. This was a driveway stake, that's all it is, and I got them for $2.49 a piece. You cut them in half, or you can cut them down to your arrow length if you like, whatever lengths you want. I've got some here that I've made, here it is, like this one here I made from a crossbow, and I got to build another bow from a crossbow because the PVC that I made my crossbow out of, it failed. It broke over when I pulled it back. I don't know why. I made a mistake somewhere. It weakened I heated the plastic too many times, guess it weakened it. So I'm going to try to build it one more time. But it made a few shots with this one. Now, what I've done here to make these arrows, this here is just a small piece of metal that I've made a flathead out of, cut it out with a grinder, that's what I've done, a disc grinder, and rasp these down. On the tips, you rasp them down with a rasp. I got a horseshoe rasp here that I used to shoot horses with, and it rasps them down pretty quick, but you can use a file or whatever you want, just so you can rasp it down enough to get this plastic cylinder over. These plastic cylinders can be made out of any round piece of plastic that's hollow basically. What I did on this was just an ink pen. As a matter of fact, it's just an old ink pen. It wouldn't work, the outside piece. Take all the center out, cut you out about an inch of it, or it can be a little longer, it don't matter, just as long as it's long enough that you can get it on here and you glue it on here. Then you can buy your replacement nocks. They're plastic. They're pretty cheap. I got these cheap things at Walmart's. And then you just glue them in the end right here, like so. They'll fit even without gluing them, but you might, when you shoot your knock out there, you might lose your knock if you don't glue that on there. I've got to go to town this week and get some glue so I can glue that on there. Now then, you remember the other day when I was on my archery series, when I was out there firing arrows and I broke my arrow, and I could not, I told you couldn't use that arrow anymore. Well, I meant the wood part break. The only thing you use this dowel for now is dowel pins because it's too short. Or I might convert this one into a dart for my crossbow, because this is not a compound crossbow, it's just a regular crossbow. I could probably get by with that, but I imagine I'll use these for dowels for making the crossbow out of. We'll get into that later. What I need them pins for on a crossbow for. But right now we're talking about this making us a PVC arrow. Now, there goes the phone. It never fails. They can wait. It's probably Mom. I'll get up with her later. Anyway, this is the arrowhead that I burned the wood off from in the fire when it broke. Now, it's a little flathead. All I did was took a disc grinder and cut this out. Now, I'm probably going to sharpen this point again because I hit that building when it snapped that arrow. That sling bow put it on down there. I mean, you're going to have that whenever you're shooting arrows. I broke several wooden arrows, you know. Everything shoot hard that Pathfinder sling bow does on a 55-pound band. And if you miss and you hit that metal building, well, you know the steel's going to shut back in it. Boom, and something's got to give, so it's that wood, it's wood shaft, it's going to give. Now this here won't give. These here fiberglass, I've never broke one of these yet. They're heavier, but this time when I cut my groove and put this on here and lash it on there and glue, when I get my glue, I'm going to try to use a different kind of glue. The last time I used that 8 glue, and 8 glue is, I don't know if I got it here somewhere, here it is, here. It will hold it, but it makes it too bulky on the end, so my arrows were dropping too much. So I'm going to use super glue or find some Archer's hot glue, something lighter, and then stick that in there and see if I can get my arrows more balanced. Now this one here is about 4 inches longer than my carbon arrows, so what I'll probably do is cut that 4 inches off and make it match the rest of them. And this will be on here about the same length as these then. I like these arrowheads a lot better than this crud from Walmart's, and I'm going to show you why. These were cheap and inexpensive to make. This here, a pack of these, I think came to $7, $8 for 3. These broadhead cutters here. And you noticed how these fins will knock out there when you miss? Or even if you hit something, you lose them. You never can find them blades. You can probably replace them, but I have never done it. It's just a pain in the rear for me. I like the way they screw in the tip. That's nice. And you can get game with them, but they're expensive to use. I'm about cheap and inexpensive. When you're a poor boy and don't have a whole lot of money, you make everything count that you got. Like reusing the arrowhead that you already fired. See, it's still a good arrowhead. Whenever I pulled it out of the stove last night, I dipped it down in hot oil in order to reharden the steel and to cool it down. Then I let it set up for a while, then I wiped it down and washed it off with some Dawn soap, but I'm going to re-oil it but whenever I get done. But I just didn't want oil all over me while I'm working to glue it on there and fasten it on there. But anyhow, that's how that's made. On that, that's how I do that anyway. Just a second, but like I say, I think I'll cut about 4 inches off of this. Now, talking about the quiver. Get into the quiver while I got my mind on it. You see, I have a little plastic 2-inch PVC quiver. Let me get my jerky bag out of the way. That's what I used to sell jerky and carry it in the stores with. But anyway, this here is just a piece of PVC, a 2-inch. That's all I had. If I'd have had a 3-inch or a 4-inch piece of pipe, I could have made a much better quiver. What I'm saying here is, you get a bunch of these broadheads in here. Yeah, I can't hold about 4, maybe 5 arrows in this thing. And when you pull them out, they'd hang up on those heads. Especially my broadheads. This one here is working all right, but you get a bunch of them in there and they'll hang up on you. What I'm saying here. And then whenever I got down to just a few arrows on those field heads, they would fall all the way through. So this ain't working out too good. It's just something, I haven't went hunting with this. I just made it, and it's not really no good for this. Not unless I put a cap on and use it just for the field heads, or maybe use it for my darts for my crossbow. It might hold a few for that, but that's about all that's good for. If it's any good for that, really. All I did was put some eye bolts in this thing. You see these little, that's a screen door threaded bolt, and that up there is just a little eye bolt that was on there to make a sling. And all this, that hay bale string is all that is. You can strap it on your shoulder. Oh, I reckon you could tie it on to your belt if you wanted to. If you'd rather have your arrows down here, you could. But it just depends on how you want to carry your arrows. Especially if you got a backpack on, you want your arrows down here. Uh-oh, well, my battery's about ready to crash, looks like. So I'll say good afternoon to you for now. TB's Cabin. Signing off.